Yes, you're right. And obviously, anyone walking past the wonderful building in Queen Square will see that it's closed for obvious reasons in the current coronavirus situation. But that doesn't mean that the activities of the Bath Royal Literary and Scientific Institution are not continuing. And obviously, it's been a challenge for us to think about how to continue them, because the bulk of the activity that goes on at BRLSI is public lectures, to which people come and hear interesting speakers from a whole wide array of different backgrounds. And also we have exhibitions using selected items from the wonderful collection, much of which is unfortunately at the moment not on public display, but we do, the amazing collections team do bring out exhibitions several times a year, choosing choice items and linking themes, etc. So all that, of course, has had to stop at the moment because, like everyone else, we've been locked down. BRLSI has a website. It had a website before coronavirus, was thinking about moving into doing more stuff digitally, so serving members and interested people digitally. And I joined relatively recently, within the last couple of years, and ended up being made chair of the virtual BRLSI committee, which was quite a nice job, meeting once a month and chatting about how we can be better with our digital output. And then coronavirus happened, everything stopped, came to a halt, and everyone in BRLSI said, "Wait, you're the virtual chap, shouldn't we be doing something?" And so we had a very quick pivot to thinking about, well, what do our members and what do the people who regularly attend, members and non-members who attend BRLSI, what do they come for? And predominantly the people who arrive in person, either to see exhibitions, but also to come to the many talks, several of which are held every week. And we thought, well, if we can't do those in person, how can we still give people that service virtually? So we began, some of the speakers who'd been scheduled to do public talks, we interviewed them over Zoom. The talks were done really just as one-on-one conversations like this, and then put up online on the website. And also we created a YouTube channel. And then, of course, this was good. People started watching these talks, and we've put up a lot of them so far. But we also realised that people were missing that interactivity of being at a talk in person, where you have a speaker delivers a lecture, and at the end, that thing that they said that's been bugging you, you can put your hand up and say, "But when you said blah, surely you mean blah." And so we started moving, where possible, to doing live lectures online using mostly Zoom. And that way you can have a live engagement with your speaker. You can have a sense of occasion, because if you're joining for a modest fee, you join and you get to engage in this talk live, and you get to ask questions either in person, either visually, or you can send your questions in words during. So that's a very long-winded way of saying what we've tried to do since being forced to close the doors is take the main activities of the institution online. My nice once a month meetings have turned into a sort of a semi full-time job, but it's really exciting.
So lockdown, the positive in all this negativity is giving you guys an opportunity of developing your online presence.
Absolutely, and there was a real sense at BRLSI of the need to do this anyway before coronavirus came along. But what coronavirus did, the pandemic gave us a big kick up the backside and made us do things more quickly than we otherwise would, because we realised without our digital offerings, there really wasn't anything there at the moment, and that's not right. We don't want to just shut the place down until we're all allowed to take our masks off and re-enter society again.
Forgive the sound interruptions you're hearing, but we're recording this interview, I think, just as the government report on Russian interference in our various elections is being published. So I'm getting lots of warnings about that. I'll have a look in a minute. Joe, I also hear that BRLSI is wanting to act as a platform for local arts, that you're looking for people to work with you. How exactly is that going to work out? What are you trying to do?
Well, that question's a relief, Richard. I thought you were going to grill me about Russian interference for a second. I can assure you BRLSI is innocent. Yeah, I think one thinks a lot about how coronavirus is changing us as a society, and here in Bath, as a community in Bath. And one of the things it has undoubtedly done is made a lot of people think very carefully and in a detailed way about what we do and how we're connected to each other. And I think it has brought a lot of people in the museum, the heritage sector, it's brought them, or it's set them to thinking about what can we do better at the end of all this? How can we sort of use each other to support each other during the difficulties? And this is very early stages, but we are at what we would like to do with BRLSI is reach out to some of the other organizations. We already have a very long established relationship with, for example, the Herschel Museum of Astronomy, the Museum of Bath Architecture and so on. But we want to start making overtures to see how we, by combining with some of the other heritage establishments in and around Bath, can maximize our potential together. And also, I think perhaps just make a bigger splash for Bath. Everyone knows Bath is a terrific world heritage centre, that there is amazing history here, but I still think we can do more, and I think combining our strengths can help. So one of the things, for example, we can do at BRLSI is arrange talks that are in conjunction with, for example, the Holborn Museum or the Museum of Architecture. There's nothing to stop us doing that. We can have reciprocal benefits for members and so on. Now, these are, as I say, very early days, but something that this coronavirus situation has got us to thinking about.
Joe, there's a lot of talk that tourism in this city is going to take 3 to 4 years to get back to the sort of levels we were enjoying pre-COVID-19. I think there's a spirit abroad that this is a golden opportunity to get Bathonians to come out and really appreciate their own city. And I'm just wondering how much emphasis you as an organisation will be putting on doing that, on getting local people to come out and support their museums and their heritage.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, well, first of all, let's say there are a lot of people in Bath who really appreciate the heritage and appreciate the museums and support them and come out. An organisation like BRLSI could not function without that wonderful base of volunteers and members and supporters. But lots of people in the city, like I grew up long ago in London. How often did I visit the Tower of London or Buckingham Palace? Things that are on your doorstep, it's easy to overlook them. And while we clearly in Bath have a very well-educated, very a community, a population that's interested in history and culture, there's no question that we could do better at getting more Bathonians to come and visit places like the BRLSI. And I think if this whole current situation, again, gives us a shot in the arm to think about how we engage better with people, then that's a good thing.
Joe, I think the best advice we can give people, I don't want to go on and on and on. I'd rather this is short and sharp, but there is a very active website that they can visit to see exactly what is happening within BRLSI. And it's maybe a good idea to keep an eye on that website as we come out of lockdown to see what exciting things are in store in the future.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there's the BRLSI website, which is brlsi.org, has all the details of upcoming talks, including live talks. So we're still putting up pre-recorded talks, and we're also putting up live talks. We have community events. For example, we're doing a regular virtual book club, which we're calling the Big Read. I think the next one is The Great Gatsby, which I will have to dust off my copy from about 35 years ago. But but also we're doing, as you know, Richard, one of the jewels of BRLSI is this wonderful collection, which is has large parts of this collection are of national and international importance. And so also during lockdown, we're inviting members of the public to help us do further research on some of the items in the collection, because there are hundreds of thousands of items, and we have a limited curatorial team who do an astonishing job, but cannot research everything. And so that's something that people can do at the moment from their own home. They don't have to go out, put themselves at risk. And again, by visiting the website, you'll see a link to this project. And it's really interesting. You can engage with objects from different parts of the collection. There's paleontology, ethno-history, etc.
Joe, thank you very much indeed.
It's been a pleasure, Richard. Thank you.